What is up, everybody? My name is Advance, and this is Advanced Sports Talk. All right, so last night was the Jake and Nate connection. Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz. Been anticipated for a couple months now. So, man, first off, I gotta say the entertainment factor of this fight was hilarious, man. Like, yeah, these two characters, man. All right, so let's break this down without any further ado. All right, so Jake Paul coming off of a loss to the only boxer that he's fought, Tommy Fury, was like, "Yeah, give me another retired MMA star." But I gotta say, this was probably his, of the MMA fighters that he's faced. This was probably his biggest challenge of the bunch, because we had what did we have? We had Ben Askren. Ben Askren wasn't really a striker. We had Tyron Woodley. He was more of a striker than Ben Askren. They fought twice. Anderson Silva got hands, but Anderson Silva's boxing. He's boxing for fun. Nate is probably the most recent retiree, so to speak. But yeah, he fought Tony Ferguson last September, so that's almost a year ago. But even still, like, Nate was in enough shape to to make it challenging. Yeah, I saw a few things. I thought it was muscle memory kicking in, but no, it was actually Nate actually did try to reach for a single leg in the first round, and he went for the guillotine like later on, and that was crazy because I was like, damn, even even Tyron Woodley didn't reach for the guillotine. But all right, so let's break this fight down. Nate, I wouldn't say Nate is a showboat, but he's a character. So Jake Paul rocked Nate at some point. At some point during the first round, and like he really rocked him. And Nate looked stunned. I don't know if he was legitimately stunned or if he was just playing around like he usually does, because he likes to feign a lot, So, but Jake went after him halfway through the first round, and like he rushed him, and he tried to, he was throwing everything in his arsenal at this guy, and he just kept going and going and going, and he ended up, by the time the second round came, Jake was already tired. He punched himself out trying to stop Nate Diaz. First of all, you're not going to stop Nate Diaz in no first round because Nate is used to taking punches. So, and I don't know if his face was numb somewhere between, like, the scar tissue that he built up over the years, or some combination between that or the weed that he that he smokes on the regular. But like, hey, who knows? But fact of the matter is that he punched himself out in the second round. Third, fourth, and fifth round, Nate started making a comeback, and this is where, like, Jake Paul found out that this ain't Tyron Woodley, or this ain't Ben Askren or Anderson Silva. And granted, Anderson Silva might have been the most prominent striker out of them three, but yeah, Nate got hands. He found out the hard way. But yeah, Nate was giving it to him too. If Jake didn't get that knockdown in the fifth round, this fight would not have been a unanimous decision. It would have been a split decision, I believe. Because Nate was pushing it. He was pushing it. He was pushing it to a 50-50, really. So fucked around almost won round 4. Well, I think he did win round 4. Almost won round 3. Yeah, he would have won round 5 if he didn't if Jake didn't knock him down. And that's the only the thing that you guys speak to that speaks to the skill of Jake Paul, was that he caught Nate in the middle of a straight punch where he used his momentum against him and knocked Nate so far off balance, like he damn near almost fell out of the ring. But it took him the rest of that round to get himself together. But he ended up pulling him. Nate ended up pulling himself back together like he usually does, and yeah, like, so he made it a fight. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Like, it was more of an even fight, between the two. But ultimately, it was too little, too late for Nate to get started. Man, all these A sounds, man. But yeah, it was too late by the time Nate got started. So ultimately, Jake Paul ended up winning. He did enough to push the unanimous decision. So yeah. But yeah, he's got skill. You cannot take the skill that Jake Paul developed away from him. I will say his boxing career is very meticulously planned out. So yeah, they built him up the right way. Like, they didn't throw a boxer at him until he had a few wins under his belt. But now he's got to worry about he's got to fight a few more boxers if he wants the respect that he wants in the boxing world. But as far as like right now, like, no, as a promoter, bravo. Like, he's putting this stuff on, he's getting fighters paid. So yeah, props to him. Speaking of other fighters during that there was another fight of note on this card, Amanda Seranno versus Heather Hardy, and once again this was something very similar. Like, Seranno was dominating the first half of the fight. Hardy didn't start fighting back until like around like 4 or 5 or 6, and yeah, and like this fight was also showing shades of Spence Crawford. Even though Seranno was dominating the fight, she was leaving herself open to gaps. She was leaving herself open to gaps that weren't. It was gaps in her defense that Seranno that Hardy couldn't take advantage of, and there was ways where Hardy was actually leaving herself open. She was leaving gaps in her defense as well that Seranno wasn't taking advantage of. So yeah, that fight could have been way worse. So, but now, like, the next fight anticipated for her is going to be Alicia Baumgardner, who was in attendance with her gorgeous self. Yeah, she was in attendance, and they was pushing that. They was asking her questions during the commentary, and yeah, like, she wants to fight. Alicia wants to fight. So Amanda made the smart decision, didn't answer right away. She's going to, like, let those bruises heat up, because Hardy, like I said, Hardy started fighting back, and yeah, she was giving it to her. Wasn't enough to get the decision, but hey. But in any case, that was the Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz pay-per-view reaction. What did you think about it? Do you think? Oh, that's another thing. I forgot. Yeah, so they gotta they're gonna run it back. Jake is gonna Jake they already said that they're gonna run it back. There's gonna be a Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul too, but this time it's gonna be MMA. They're gonna do it in the PFL. It's already in the works. They agreed to it verbally. So yeah, this is gonna be spectacular. And guess who else is in the PFL? Francis Ngannou. I'm gonna do a whole nother video on that shit, because me and Slim was talking about it like that. He said if he fucks around and knocks out Tyson Fury, man, sky's the limit. But in any case, what did you think about it? Do you think Nate Diaz stands a chance? Do you think he's past his prime? Do you think he's gonna tie Jake Paul up like a pretzel? Put your comments in the comment section down below. What do you think about Alicia Baumgartner versus Amanda Seranno? Put your comments in the comment section down below. We're going to chop it up. My name's Advance. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe on everything. I'm out.